The tiny hazel dormouse didn't get its name by accident. It really loves nuts and sleeps a lot externally. This tiny little animal looks quite cute face, small round ears, beady eyes, red hair, and a fluffy tail. It can comfortably sit in the palm of a human hand, for its length is only about 15 centimeters, of which the tail takes about 6 centimeters. This little beast lives in the forests of Europe, Russia and Turkey, but it is not widely distributed. Favorite habitats of the honeycomb are where hazel, mountain ash, dog rose, guelder rose and other shrubs and trees giving edible fruits, which the animal eagerly eats. She also diversifies her menu with flowers, tree buds and sweet nectar. But the most favorite food is hazelnuts, in the shells of which the animal chews through round-shaped holes to get the nutritious contents. The hazel dormouse is an excellent climber. It cleverly climbs trees and bushes, easily keeping its balance even on the thinnest branches. And it builds its nests not on the ground, but on branches, about 1.5 m above the ground. Each animal usually has at least 3 of them, and they look like small balls about 15 centimeters in diameter, woven from twigs and leaves. In their cozy nests, the dormouse sleeps and rests during the warm season. And when cold weather comes, it goes down to the ground, hides in a small hole insulated with dry leaves and grass, curls up in a ball and hibernates for a long time until spring, as it is supposed to do. The elephant jumper is a small mammal of the family leapfrog, native to southwestern Africa. Externally, the jumper looks very funny, like a chubby mouse with a small proboscis. Because of this trunk, it is called the elephant, and the name jumper because in case of danger, it begins to jump quickly on its hind legs from side to side, to confuse predators. The body length of the elephant jumper is about 12 centimeters, the tail is 13 centimeters, and the weight is about 50 g. The small proboscis allows the animal to find small insects, termites, and ants that it usually feeds on. During the day, jumpers look for food, and when they are full, they sunbathe or bathe in dust. At night, they sleep in small sandy holes. These unusual critters are considered among the fastest of small mammals, as they can reach speeds of up to 28.8 kilometers per hour. In late summer, the female gives birth to 1 or 2 cubs. The cubs are born sighted and covered in fur, and in a few hours are able to run and jump. Their mother feeds them with milk for only 2 to 3 weeks, during which time they have time to grow strong and mature. Longevity of jumpers is short, 1 to 2 years in the wild, and can reach 3 to 4 years in captivity. I don't think anyone would argue that the koala is one of the cutest animals on the planet. It is often compared to a teddy bear because of its thick, fluffy fur, round, shaggy ears, dense build and some clumsiness. Although not related to bears, the koala's closest relative is the wombat, which also lives in Australia. These slow and silent animals live in eucalypt forests. They spend most of their lives in the trees, where they either sleep or eat eucalyptus leaves and shoots, which for many are inedible and even poisonous. But most of the time koalas sleep. They choose a convenient branch, wrap their paws around it, and fall asleep or just sit pensively. All in all, these marsupials spend about 18 hours a day in motion, that is 2/3 of their lives. Koalas are very trusting animals, which has caused them to be seriously harmed in their time. Last century and the century before, people hunted these defenseless creatures a lot for their beautiful fur, which led to a drastic decrease in their numbers. Fortunately, the government of the country reacted in time and banned the hunting of koalas. Gradually their numbers recovered, and now everyone can go to Australia and see the very cute animals that look like teddy bears. Like the koala, the giant panda is also often compared to a teddy bear. This cute animal really does look like a big soft toy, round ears, well-fed body, short legs, and thick black and white fur. Scientists have long argued about whether pandas belong to the raccoon or bear family, as they have characteristics of both. But after much debate and genetic analysis, they decided to assign the great panda to the bear family. Almost all bear pandas are predators and agile hunters, but unlike their brethren, pandas are vegetarians. Their diet consists 99% of bamboo, which they chew almost constantly for 14 hours, eating from 9 to 14 kilograms a day. It is fair to say that on occasion animals can diversify their menu with bird eggs, fish or bugs, but this is rather an exception to the rule. The great panda is a rare animal that lives only in China and is protected by the state. There are now only about 3,000 pandas in the wild. The Chinese government doesn't sell them to zoos, but gives them away to be kept temporarily for 10 years, receiving an annual fee of $1 million. Keeping a panda in captivity is not cheap either. It costs 5 times as much as keeping an elephant. But zoos still go for this expense, because there are always many people who want to see these cute little animals. The little marsupial is another contender for the title of the cutest animal. This little critter looks a bit like a squirrel and is very touching. It has big eyes, a small pink nose, a gray petal coat with contrasting black stripes, and a long fluffy tail. Its body length varies from 160 to 210 centimeters, tail length is approximately the same, and its weight varies from 95 to 160 g. The sugar leopard has special skin folds from front legs to hind legs, thanks to which it is able to overcome the distance of about 50 m in the air. When the glider jumps from tree to tree, it stretches its legs and the folds tighten, allowing it to hover in the air like a hang glider. The long tail is not for beauty either, but to act as a rudder during the jump. The animal may also use its tail to carry branches or leaves when building a nest. Sugarflies live in the forests of Australia, New Guinea, and some nearby islands. Their menu is quite varied and consists of both plant and protein foods. The animals like to feast on sweet flower nectar and fruit, and may also catch various insects and small animals. If food is scarce, the voles are able to save energy by going into a long nap that lasts almost a day. Sugared marsupials are sometimes kept in homes as exotic pets. They quickly get used to humans, are well domesticated and can give birth, but need good care and proper nutrition. In the wild, voles live about 9 years, and in zoos from 12 to 17 years. The little African fox fennec looks incredibly cute. She has a cute face, big expressive eyes, fluffy light red hair, and big ears. These ears are essential for the fenke to survive in the hot and arid African desert, as they increase heat gain and protect the animal from overheating. Finches live mostly in the Sahara Desert, preferring places where bushes and grass grow. There they arrange large burrows with many secret exits and long passages, the total area of which may reach 120 square m, and the number of exits up to 15. Large families usually live in burrows. They consist of a male, a female, and their offspring, and even the foxes don't leave their parents' house at once, but live there until they grow old enough. About 10 chanterelles can live in one den. Females bear offspring once a year. During the period when the female gives birth and feeds her cubs with milk, the male constantly takes care of her, brings her food and protects her from danger. These little chanterelles feed on birds' eggs, insects, berries and various plants, and they also hunt small birds and rodents. The animals are able to do without water for a very long time, obtaining moisture only from juicy fruits and leaves. Finches can often be seen in zoos around the world. Near the cages with cute little chanterelles there are always lots of visitors wishing to take pictures of them. Recently, the fennel is more and more often kept as a pet, as they are quite well tame. They became especially popular after the release of the cartoons Veropolis, where one of the characters was a fennel. In the wild, these chanterelles live about 7 to 8 years, but in captivity they can live up to 20 years. The quokka has a reputation as the sweetest and happiest animal in the world because of its adorable smile. It doesn't smile only when it is chewing, and at all other times it never leaves its face, even when it is sleeping. Such an unusual feature, of course, liked a lot of people. Everyone wanted to take selfies with a smiling quokka, including celebrities. The peak of popularity of such selfies came in 2010, when a large number of photos with the happiest animal in the world appeared in social networks. The photos were so cute that many people didn't even believe this animal really existed and started writing letters to the fact-checking site. The text of the letters included a phrase like, "They're just too cute to really be real." But the fact remains that kavaki really do exist. They live in Australia, on Rottnest Island and several other small nearby islands. The quokka or short-tailed kangaroo is about the size of a domestic cat. Its body length varies from 40 to 54 centimeters, tail length of about 25 centimeters and weight from 2.5 to 5 kilograms. The muzzle is slightly pointed, the ears are small and round, and the coat is grayish-brown. Quokkas are vegetarians, they eat a variety of grasses and leaves, but their favorite is a low shrub from the mallow family with small pink flowers, which is found nowhere else in the world. During the day, short-tailed kangaroos usually sleep hidden among thorny bushes, but at night they go out for a walk and search for food. They can climb trees well and are capable of climbing to a height of 1.5 m. Twice a year, a female may give birth to a cub that spends about 6 months in its mother's pouch. But even when the kangaroo cub leaves the pouch, it stays around for another 2 months, feeding on its mother's milk. Quokkas are trusting and friendly animals, they are not afraid of people and often come close. They can now be seen in Australian zoos and wildlife parks. But touching and feeding short-tailed kangaroos is strictly prohibited without special permission from the administration. For violation of this rule there is a fine of 300 Australian dollars, and for cruelty to animals there is a fine of 50,000 Australian dollars and imprisonment for 5 years. After the selfies with the happiest animal appeared on social media, the number of tourists wanting to come to Australia and Rottnest Island increased dramatically. So many people wanted to take a picture with a smiling quokka and also become a little happier. It's hard not to smile when you look at her.